Good morning. It's Sunday, July 7th, and I want to talk to you about sleep. And sleep gets better, supposedly, at every age. That's according to this article that I was reading. Now, I didn't realize that based upon your age, the amount of sleep you get tends to grow or decline. And at our age, and I'm talking about people who are over 65 or so, we basically sleep between 7 hours and 8 hours a night. That's apparently what our age group needs, between 7 and 8 hours a night. Now, there can be many factors that help you sleep or help you not sleep. And those are things that you have to contend with in your daily life. Now, I have to tell you something. I have no problem falling asleep. When I get ready to go to bed, which is somewhere between 10:30 and 11:30 every evening, I have no problem at all to fall asleep. I can lie down, think about a couple of things, and in a few minutes I'm asleep. Now, I do have to wake up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom, but that's what people my age have to live with. So, some of us go once a night, and some of us go more than once a night, and if it gets out of control, then you have to see your doctor. But sleep is something that we all need, and we should not worry about having to fall asleep. But there are many of us who do stupid things which prevent us from getting a good night's sleep. For instance, if you exercise in the evening, that's a tendency to cause you to have a problem falling asleep. And then there are those of us who may fall asleep at some point during the evening while watching television or listening to the radio or doing something. And that can affect going to sleep later on in the evening. And there are many remedies that are recommended for those who have a problem sleeping. In many cases, they say, just take 15 or 20 minutes or a half an hour, sit down and read something, relax, and then you will be able to go back to sleep. But I don't know if that works for everybody. But I was amazed to find out that the number of hours of sleep that you require varies from many different ages. And so when you look at a chart that they lay out, you will find that children in the elementary and middle school age function best when they get between 9 to 12 hours of sleep each night. Adequate rest in this age group is critical in helping them grow. And it is especially critical to help their brains develop. And sleep or no sleep can affect school performance. So many children, probably all children, need rest so that they can better absorb and retain the information they learn during the day. Setting a consistent sleep and wake time can help parents nudge their children into regular patterns of rest. So if your child or your grandchild is struggling to sleep through the night at this critical age, you should consider talking to a pediatrician about possible solution. Because it's not unusual for children in the ages of 6 to 12 to have sleep issues. And you have to figure out what to do about that. So, I am sure most of you out there have children and grandchildren who are at this age, and you should make sure they're getting enough sleep. And once you reach adolescence, you will probably need between 8 and 10 hours of sleep, which helps the power of the growth spurt that many people experience in their teenage years. I remember growing 5 or 6 inches between like 12 and 14, something like that. But meanwhile, puberty and hormonal changes shift your internal clock, prompting you to stay up at night and wake up later each morning. And I guess that's what happens to most of the kids. They don't want to go to sleep that early, but then they have trouble waking up to go to school. So the researchers are not sure 100% why this shift happened, but they know the consequences of it. Many teenagers are chronically sleep deprived because they have to get up so early for school. So maybe we should insist upon school starting later for the teenagers. But I think if we did something like that, the teenagers would stay up later and later. So there's nothing wrong with forcing teenagers to have some kind of sleep discipline, even though they may not sleep comfortably in that period of time. We probably should make sure that they're going to get their 8 to 10 hours and make sure that they learn how to handle sleep and to try and keep them off their phones, because the generation today lives by their phones. So probably that is going to put a lot of stress on parental guidance if you mess with their phones and put them to bed early. So I leave you with thinking about that. How to handle the teenage growth cycle and the sleep cycle. Think about it. Now we come to this large gap between 20 and 65, when between 7 and 8 hours is the recommended time of sleep. And you have to deal with your internal problems at work or school or whatever it is, and be sure that you get 7 to 8 hours most of the time, and you'll be fine. And then when you reach retirement age, which is 65 plus, then you have to readjust your whole schedule, but you're still basically on a 7 to 8 hour schedule. But since you're really not working or doing something, that may affect the sleeping pattern, because maybe you haven't gotten enough out of your system that you still have to stay awake for a while in the evening. But basically, that's the pattern. And you have to have that 7 to 8 hours, most of us. And preferably uninterrupted 7 to 8 hours. That would be the best. But you have to think about everything else that's going on in your life, and so you have to make adjustments so that you can go to bed comfortably every night and not think about the problems that you have encountered during that particular day, or think about the future, which can be very upsetting. And then you have family worries and things like that that can affect your sleep. But sleep is a critical element in your pattern of health. If you're not getting enough sleep, I guarantee you will not have a healthy older life. So I'll leave you with that. Sleep patterns, critical to your life and very much dependent upon your age group. So have a great day and sleep well tonight. Bye.